Today I'm joined by my guest Simon Gregory from Parker's Properties. How are you doing?
I'm very well, David. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. Um, Thanks for sort of taking the time to talk to us. Today we're here to talk about your experience as an agent with one particular supplier, and that's Bridge AI. So for those people that perhaps haven't used Bridge AI or don't know about it, what is it that they've done for you? We're going to guess that it's AI related, but
Yeah,
tell
well
us
done.
specifically how it's helping you, Simon.
Yeah, well, I guess for our offices, obviously, for anyone running in a state agency, we get numerous inquiries that come through to us on a daily basis, and we tend to find a lot of these inquiries will come through in the evening, and then by the time we then get around to trying to respond to these inquiries in the morning, you're calling people, you're emailing them, you're text mailing them, and sometimes you're just not getting a response. So what Bridge AI have done for us is they basically set up an automated response for us, whereby when someone makes an inquiry, whether it's during the day or whether it's during the evening, that you will essentially open up a WhatsApp message that will then start communicating with this buyer. And then what that will then do is it will then ask them the standard questions that you normally would if you were registering someone essentially. So it will ask them about the property obviously that they've inquired about. It will ask them what their position is. It will ask them, it will then navigate around any sort of multi-selling skills that you can have, whether or not that they've got a mortgage agreed in principle, whether
Yeah.
they want to speak to a mortgage
So
advisor,
cross that, yeah, that's important.
bit of cross-selling in there, whether they've got a house to sell, would they like to speak to a senior valuer? But even better, it actually then integrates. So we use Repit, so it integrates with Repit then, so it'll actually create an applicant registration on our database that we would then follow up with once everything has all gone, once they've finished that conversation. But you can stop and start that conversation whenever you want. So if that's a live conversation that's happening while we are at work and you're in front of your desktop or whatever, you can actually stop the AI and just start having that conversation yourself as human interaction. But it does the basics for us. But most importantly, it's the response time, because more often than not, when you can't get hold of that person, if there's already an open WhatsApp conversation that they were talking with the AI 10 o'clock the evening before, we can then pick up that conversation with them the following day. And the difference it's made from the amount of people that we're actually talking to, the conversion rate that we've got now of the leads that are coming through, I think it's increased by nearly 40% for us as to the conversion of the leads that
That's
are coming
that's really
through.
impressive. I mean that's the AI dream, isn't it, really? That it gives you effectively 24/7 cover.
Yeah.
So it's not just whilst you're working, but it's also out of hours effectively that
It's service for the buyer as well for the client. So if that, I mean, there's so many different areas that the AI can do that we're just sort of we're just starting to integrate it. I've got 7 offices, so we're fully operational in 2 offices. We're just about to launch it into another 2 offices. But I mean, it can run campaigns for you whereby it can contact your database of people whether they're looking at selling or all sorts of things that it can do. So yeah, I'm really excited about the journey that we're going on with Bridge AI. Lath, that I'm dealing with, I think one of the co-owners, I think basically
yeah.
he's very clued up. He used to be an estate agent as well, so he gets it, and they're really approachable. So we always test dummy run whenever they go to launch, even though we've been successfully done it with 2 other offices already. We always like to sort of test things, and sometimes we come up with other little ideas, and they're always open to any
That's
suggestion,
brilliant.
and they can change it as much as you want. They're really easy to get hold of. I was always quite apprehensive of bringing AI into our business, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I have, and I'm really excited about what the future is going to bring for it as well.
That is brilliant, and the response time is so important. It used to annoy me years ago when EA Masters first came out with their rating of agents, and they always used to talk about response time, how quickly agents respond to, Rightmove portal leads or whatever it is. But if you think about it, these days we all expect digital services that basically you click
Exactly.
something, it happens straight away. I think the management of the public's expectations are that things are going to happen very quickly and
Yeah.
your ability to do that, but more importantly, get it into the CRM straight away
Yeah.
is superb. I think that's
Yeah, and I was really super impressed with that. I mean, to the point on repeat, it's even adding details about what they're. I mean, we only asked 3 basic questions with the AI about price they're looking up to, minimum number of bedrooms and location, but it will add that information into Reapit. It'll even put in the price brackets of what they're looking in. And then we just then need to go in. If we then feel that we needed more information, I mean, we'll always follow up these leads and book in within our diary to make sure it's the right person who's doing the viewing, etc. And we'll then mop up on that registration if there's further information that we want, and we can add a few little missing bits into the applicant card. But even if, like with Reapit, I don't know how familiar you are with it. So if there's someone that's already registered within Reapit, it will recognise that and it will add the notes onto the applicant card.
So there's no
The
duplicate
existing
records. Yeah.
100%. So it's really good. I've been really impressed with it. So.
That is really impressed. And you mentioned something else before in terms of cross-selling opportunities. Very often I find that sometimes there are questions that, with the best will in the world and with the best people behind the phones answering those questions or asking those questions, there are certain questions that we just naturally find difficult to sort
Yeah,
sometimes land. The AI doesn't care. So it's going to ask whether you've got a mortgage or
exactly.
not, and it will identify opportunities that maybe you or I sometimes in full flow might ignore or might
Exactly.
forget.
Financial qualification is a huge part of obviously of our business. We need to make sure that people can afford the properties that they're inquiring about that they want to actually view. And you're right, sometimes naturally you forget to ask that question, or have you got your mortgage agreed? And it's only when they want to make an offer, I think, oh, what, you haven't. And then it's a bit embarrassing sometimes they can't actually afford the property that they want
Yeah.
to make an offer on. So it just makes us more efficient. But it also helps the buyers as well to make sure that they're better equipped and better prepared to buy a property.
Yeah, and I think it's superb. It's a win-win for everybody. Your clients, so that the
Yeah.
sellers, that they benefit, the end users, the buyers, and obviously you guys along the way. Somebody's doing a bit of the heavy lifting just to help you add value where you naturally add value, I
Exactly,
suppose.
and it's all it's doing. It's just asking the questions, so we can then pick up on those questions and we can then elaborate on them further. So it's just helping everyone get a bit of a head start, really.
Perfect. Well, I think that's a really good summary of how you guys are using it and how much you love it. So the next question is going to seem daft, but I have to ask it you anyway. I take it, therefore, you'd recommend Bridge AI
Oh,
to
absolutely
other
not.
estate
Never.
agencies.
No, honestly, yeah. I mean, I think I only spoke to two other companies, but these guys are just they're just on it. They specialize in real estate, in property. So I think that's the difference with this AI. Is you get other AI companies that they delve in various different sectors, etc. These guys just specialize in estate agencies, so they know their stuff.
Good to know, and great integrations as well, which is
Yeah.
always helps. Simon, thank you very much for your time.
Cool. No worries. Thanks, David.